was a really good reading. I do really see some differences among students with English learners, special needs. Definitely where I work, where there's a lot of migrant workers like my own dad. I definitely see there's differences among colored kids, and I used to teach juvenile hall kids, and a lot of people treat them like they're never going to be anything, but actually they're often very talented and super street smart and creative. So yeah, I do see some differences among groups that I wish didn't exist, but that's why I'm moving up to admin so I can help more students succeed. I also noticed for grading, there's always a set grade, like 90% or better is an A. Yet for many of our special students, the grade has to be accommodated. But not all general ed teachers, including myself in the past before I got training because I was a special needs mom, they really know how to make differential instructions to get the A. They're just like, no, they have to do the same thing as everybody else. That's not true. They could do like every other question or use a tutor or go to the resource room or get some extra help. So there's lots of way to help our special kids get the proper grades. When it comes to preserving the norms, I think there's been a big change in gender fluidity. So often in the past, girls and boys line up in different lines, but with the new bathroom law of having bathrooms for any gender, I think the same should be applying to line up on school campuses, especially for PE. I had a student that was a twin, and they wanted to put the two girls in that line, but they had come out that that twin was transforming to a gentleman, and that he would like to be in the boy line, but the teacher wouldn't let him, and lawyers were brought in. It was very interesting to see how practice and protocols and procedures have changed with the new laws. I do wish all the laws in education were given and training were provided to our teachers to more depth to help everyone understand. Personally, I ran into my needs for my special son. He has cerebral palsy and can't talk right, so I taught him sign language. But I had to get a lawyer to get a qualified teacher to match the ADA effective communications rule. It was such a battle. It took years. But in the end, Stanford Hospital, CP United, and compliance claims got my son sign language. It should not be that much of a battle. It's why I'm going into administration. Um, Thankfully, he does get effective communication. My son has dramatically improved, and ASL is still his primary language. I wish all students were taught sign language that are special at a young age. It sure helps them better communicate and less meltdown. It makes such a difference. I think open education access for all students is the goal, but I don't always see it, so it's part of the reason I'm going into admin. Because in theory, like, we will all want educational access for our students, right? And I feel with tech and having one-to-one campuses locally, especially with our English learner or kids that are at risk for gangs and our migrant kids, they all now have access to education thanks to the one-to-one campuses. However, I still run into the problem all the time where we don't have the right supplies for our teachers, not enough special aids, teachers come and go, the facilities are run down, or one place they had too much lead in their water, like some really severe facility things we can fix. And getting stuff for our special needs students has been something I advocated. I had a kid that was legally deaf, but since I taught science and not English and math, they wouldn't let me use the FN system. And that's ridiculous. The kid couldn't hear me, so I had to bring in a lawyer for that. I think our special children should get the help they need to access school. And I really wish there was more qualified special needs teachers, staff, etc., to help our students, especially with autism on the rise. I think educational access for students is crucial at all school sites.